Happy holidays, my fellow 40kers. This week we are continuing to build our Fallout shelter, Warhammer 40k, mashup vault. This video will focus on the building of the power systems and the primary lighting. We'd love it if you liked our video and subscribe to our channel. The mountain cube has a plate on the back that can be removed to provide access to all the electronics within the mountain. The toughest part of building this was making sure the drawers can be opened and closed for play access without the wires getting all tangled. This was accomplished by creating the center channel between the columns of rooms. All wiring will be directed into this space. Immediately behind the elevator in the front is a set of hallways that allow access between the columns of rooms. Given that these halls will not have convenient access, I needed to build them in such a way that they did not inhibit the drawers opening and closing. The hallway boxes were built, and to ensure I could paint the interiors, the walls, ceiling, and floor of each hallway tunnel were built outside the main corridor and will be installed once painting is done. I cannot stress enough the value of using sub-assemblies to ensure you can detail the pieces properly. In the lore of the model, there was only enough air in the hermetically sealed vault to cause roughly 100 years of wear, hence why the vault is still in good shape after 40,000 years of being buried. With the hallway wall inserts painted and clear coated, the next step is to test fit them into their final position. The ceiling lights are tested prior to permanent installation. The stack of hallways were meticulously measured to ensure they rise to the proper level and match up with the holes cut in the drawer rooms. They were mounted with neodymium magnets in case I need to remove them in the future. Other than that, these will likely never move again. It never made sense to me in the Fallout shelter game that you had to use the elevator to move between rooms, so the answer for me was the corridor behind the elevator. The hallway corridors are now ready to have their wall, ceiling, and floor inserts glued into place and held with the clips while drying. PVA glue is used so I can adjust their positions prior to the glue setting. Once dry, a wee strip of card is added to the ends to hide the double wall of the corridor. This was then primed flat black and they are ready for installation. Here you can see the corridors installed and wired up. They exactly line up with the access ports for each room. The wiring drops to the floor where it is secured with enough slack for the electronics tray to move freely. The primary lighting was built with a bunch of $3 LED strings from the dollar store. There are 8 light strings in total. I measured out 20 holes and used hot glue to install the lights themselves. Each room's lights are installed on the bottom of the room above it. When the lights are glued in place, I simply coil the excess wire up and insert it into the channel cut into the ceiling. There is only a 5mm gap between each room drawer. The LEDs from the dollar store were ideal as they were tiny. The hallway lights are wired with a 220 ohm resistor and then attached to a 9-volt bus bar on the electronics tray. The leads for each floor are directed into the channel between the column of rooms and do not interfere with the drawers opening and closing. With all the lights installed, I then used masking tape with a wee hole punched into the center to give the lights a bit of a pot light look. Adding masking tape on top of the lighting channels ensures that they will not show once they are painted. Each light was covered with a hole punch of painter's tape, and the entire assembly was painted flat black to avoid drawing attention to the ceiling. These last few images show the lighting finished and powered up. It took me about a month to build these items, a very tedious process with not much visual appeal, but the wiring infrastructure is very important and will now be used for every room that gets built.
The Emperor wishes you a lovely day.